How you doing, YouTube? Matt, Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of mixed culture time in the form of Muckraker Brewing. It's their Sussex Wild Saison+Spon. This is a farmhouse ale and northeastern spontaneous blend with second-use blackberries. Yeah, Muckraker. I've done one of their beers before. It's a new place just opened relatively close to where I live. It's like a mixed culture, spontaneously fermented kind of brewery. I interviewed them in actually my podcast. You can go check that out. Super cool dude. Tom over there is doing some fun stuff. I did one of their beers because my buddy Keith is like a member of their club. And he brought some by. I reviewed one of them, but this is one I wanted to try, and one that Tom was like, you should really check this one out. I had it at the brewery, but we'll see how the bottle goes. So anyway, what else is in here? Saison+Spon, all the stuff I just said. Volume 1, Issue 4. And then we have brewed and bottled by Muckraker Beer Maker, Franklin, New Jersey. 5.2%, July 2019. So this is the first of September. So yeah, let's crack into this sucker. I actually don't have a bottle opener. I haven't done this in a while. We'll see if we can actually fucking do this shit. So, anyway. How about that one? So, for your kids at home, if you never have a bottle opener, and you have one of these kind of collared neck kind of jams, you give a quick tap to that collar, usually they pop right off. So, there's a little bit of a science for you. What was that? Told you guys how to open with a lighter or anything specific, but yeah, these collared ones, I've actually never tried it on one of the like a regular cap crown. One of the ones, the bigger ones, usually your spontaneously fermented ones, the collar on here, if you give it a good little whack, you got to stay in this little seam here. There's always a seam on the bottle. If you just take the bottom of your glass, or it's sabering, that's what they do with fucking champagne and all that kind of stuff. But if you just stay across the seam and you just give it a quick little tap, more times than not, it'll just pop right off. So if you're out in the middle of nowhere having a rager in the middle of the woods and you don't have a bottle, the only thing is you got to watch because that's sharp-ass fucking glass. Anyway, back to the beer. That looks like kind of mango juice, peach juice. Just rich, delicious juiciness, soft carbonation, very light, fluffy, creamy kind of carbonation floating on the top of that sucker. She looks pretty damn pretty. Pretty damn pretty. So it has that kind of fleshy blueberry thing. It can look like a bunch of different beers. It almost kind of gets to the coloration you'd see with a typical barley wine, but she looks nice. She looks pretty inviting. Let's dive in. Yeah, nice. Soft tartness, nothing too crazy. Those blackberries come through, or blueberries. No, blackberries. Come through, but it's like that kind of, when I talk about eating berries, my favorite kind of berry is you eat them, you're sweet, semi-sweet, and you get that real tart one. It's kind of coming off that way. So it's not an overly sour kind of thing, but it's a nice soft tartness to it. There's a funk, a tartness. There's like, again, I guess it's a sour beer. In the grand scheme of things, I call it a wild beer, spontaneously fermented beer. But most people kind of teeter on the edge of sour with this one. So it's not overly sour. It has a nice sweetness to it. Those berries come through in a very soft kind of way. It's almost like you're getting a mixture of like a yeast culture that's very close to kind of those second use berries, while at the same time those berries are just amplifying that up. She smells pretty damn tasty. Let's give her a sippy poo. Cheers. I can crush it all day. I mean, there's acidity to it. So it is sour. But it has this soft creaminess. This what I assume is like a long, rich, malty, dextrin kind of richness to it that adds this kind of almost like lactosey, oaty vibe to it. I'm sure there's wheat in here. I'm sure there's Pilsner malt in here. I'm sure all the typical things that you would see in the spontaneously fermented beer are in here. But it's the way you kind of manipulate those sugars and kind of create those long chain kind of sugars to kind of create that soft kind of creamy mouthfeel. It comes off like that. It comes off very much like it has what a lot of people would attribute nowadays to lactose, but it's not. There is a little bit of soft vanilla. I assume that's a wood thing from when this beer came from, in combination with those second use fruits. So you're getting a soft little bit of vanilla, a nice creaminess to it. Those berries come through very vibrant, very organic, and it's just super tasty. It's sour, but barely what I would classify as sour. It's more kind of like tart leaning sour. It's just so easy to drink. It's the kind of beer that I like sip and I go, oh, I'm gonna get heartburn, but a couple seconds later I'm like, this is never gonna give me heartburn. This is getting very close to those kind of pH balance level kind of beers, the ones I talk about, where when you drink them, the Swards of the world, Hills of the world, where you drink them and you're kind of like, it belongs inside of you. There's a little bit more of an acidity level to it, so it's a little bit above that pH balance that your body kind of has. I like that. I dig that. I'm okay with it getting up there, but it's still very organic, very rich, very welcoming. My body's not like, oh my God, you're drinking this shit. It's like, yes, you are drinking this stuff. So this is really tasty stuff. I like how it comes off. It's very, the volume is cranked. It's loud, but at the same time, it's not overpowering. It's that rounded edges thing I haven't really talked about all that much with a lot of beers. A lot of the beers I review come from you guys out there, so a lot of you guys are sending me hazies and pastry stouts and stuff like that. And when I delve into these kind of aged beers, or really well-made kind of wild beers and lambic and things like that, there's a roundness to it. There's a soft edge to it, and that's kind of where this one comes off. So it has that volume with soft edges. That fruit comes through both from the actual berry itself, but at the same time, I believe you're getting that from a bit of a yeast culture too. That nice, rich density that you get from those tasty malt bits and pieces. I like it. I'm a fit. Give me hiccups though. That's what it is. But yeah, I dig it. It's fun. It's tasty. It's probably one of the better fruited beers I've had from Jersey. I think that's the second time I've said those words when it comes to the Muckraker beers, and this is the second one I reviewed. So 2 for 2, and that's not a bad batting average. Listen. Let's just cut the chase. It's one of the better kind of, I don't even want to call it a fruited beer, because it's the second, use kind of fruit kind of thing going on. It's one of the better spontaneously fermented, even though I believe this is blended. It's one of the better funky beers. Let's just pigeonhole it there. It's a wide category that I've had as of late. Yes, it's up there towards the top, if not at the top. It's just that good. Do I like it better than the other one I had the other day? Probably, yeah. Yeah, was it a week or two ago? I had the other Muckraker I reviewed, and I really enjoyed this one. Probably that mouthfeel, that creaminess kind of really does it for me. So this one's probably a little bit higher for me. Value and availability, I think I got this. I purchased this at the brewery. It came in a 3-pack of bottles. I believe it was this one, which is a 375 milliliter, and the other two were 500 milliliter bottles. It was $40. So if we divide that by, even prices, then you're looking at just around $17 a piece. It's alright, Wait, I'm doing my math really wrong there. $13.50 a piece. $13.33. God damn, math is hard. So that's not bad at all. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, if you like lambic, if you like, again, the same shit I echoed at the end of the previous review. If you like mixed culture, spontaneously funky, all those words, Belgian born, Sen Valley born, those kind of beers that you like when the yeast is telling a story, the fruit is there as an accompaniment, not as an over-the-top kind of just heavy-hitting portion of the show, and you like a really well-done balanced beer that is acidic but at the same time is welcoming, this is going to do you. And the tap room is open to the public on select days. Go check them out, Muckraker. Really nice drive up there. There's a bunch of breweries not super close, but relatively close enough. It's close to your kind of District 96, Rushing Duck, Equilibrium, those kind of beers up towards the kind of New York, New Jersey border. So, yeah, super tasty stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you didn't, anywhere in between down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive, doing a whole podcasting thing where you can check me talking to Tom about 9 months ago. So you can see kind of the makings of the brewery before they even open. And hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little spontaneously fermented beer right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.